Babes, and welcome to my book nook. For those that are new around here, the name's Rainy Barton. I read all different types of genre, romance, fantasy, thriller, horror, all the different things. I'm also Rainy Blue Reads on all my social media handles, so please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel down below. It really helps my channel grow. In today's video, we are putting this up a few days early. We have my July TBR, and it's going to be interesting because I am participating in the amazing Readathon by Bree from Four Paws Into Books. If you don't know about that Readathon, go check it out. I will link the video under here. And so I'm making a TBR, but like hopefully the prompts are vague enough that like any of these books that I choose will actually work for that readathon. And then I'm also participating in the Full Moon Readathon with Jan Agaton as I'm in part of her Patreon. Those are the two readathons that I am participating in. And so hopefully some stuff will work for these. And if not, I'm just going to have an interesting reading month. But basically, if you're new around here, we are doing my Friends themed TBR game, which I changed up how I do it completely last month so that I could mood read to my heart's content. So if you missed that episode, please check out the prior episode so that you know how the game board works. But basically, these are no longer prompts. They are specific colors for specific types of books. And I will go through the 4 categories really quick. We have new to me authors, authors I've read from before, series, and trending books. And so I have put a bunch of different books on a spreadsheet that I want to read sooner than later, and hopefully I will read them. And if I skip a book 3 times within like different TBRs, then I have to unhaul that book. Although I'll have some I guess exceptions for it if I know that it's a book I really don't want to unhaul. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And so with that being said, let's go over my stats from last month and then we'll see where I'm at for this one. So with last month, I had 6 books that I was supposed to read and I read 3 of them. That would be successful to me. I read The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, which did not go very well. It was a 2-star and I learned that cozy mysteries are not for me. I read Twisted Love by Anna Huang, and I must say that also did not go the greatest. I gave it a 3.5, but it just was. And then I also read Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. Loved that. I love Miss Hillier. I love everything that she ever writes. I was supposed to read The Atlas 6. I just didn't get to it. I'm going to keep it, though. I want to keep it. I didn't get to Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I still really want to read that book. And I didn't get to Honors Were Briefly Gorgeous. I still really want to read that book. But in replacing the 3 books that I did read, I have added Scarred by Emily McIntyre to my spreadsheet, The Whispers by Ashley Audrain, which I'm actually currently reading, so I'll get to take that off in a minute, and Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. So with that being said, we are just going to dive right in. I'm going to roll the dice, see what I get, and see what books make their way onto my TBR. Okay, so the first number is 12, which is under literature, which now is series, and it is a pink one, which I believe that was romance. And so let's see which book I'm going to read for this month. Ooh, that is so exciting, and it's literally right here, and that is Savage Lover by Sophie Lark. And I'm so glad that I got this because I have the audiobook, so I'm just ready to rock and roll and read this one. This is the 3rd book in the Brutal Birthright series by her, and so I'm not going to like... Well, actually, it's not giving it away. It's a mafia romance, and each one follows, like, a different brother or sister or sibling in the mafia family. This one follows Nero, who's actually one of my favorite, and I'm pretty sure he's, like, a bad boy, and I don't know who his romance is with. I think it's with Camilla. I'm so excited for this. I cannot wait, and the best part of this, it's signed, because I had to buy them signed so that I was able to get these copies before these covers went away. So I'm so excited to continue on with my Sophie Lark journey. That was a perfect first choice. All right, let's see which one is next. So 36 is also literature, so it is also from a series, and it is a green one, which I believe is my thriller and horror. So let's see which book. This is the 3rd time I've tried to film this clip. I forgot to press record both times. I couldn't read the book that was chosen because I put The Whispers by Ashley Audrain, and I'm currently reading it. Also, it's not part of a series. Then I filmed a whole vlog clip on this book, and this is not part of a series either. I finally have gotten it right, friends. And the series of the beginning of a thriller or horror novel that I'm going to read is The Night Swim by Megan Golden, because Dark Corners, the sequel, just came out. And I don't know too much about this. I know it has a podcast host. It says, a true crime podcast host covering a controversial trial finds herself drawn deep into a small town's dark past and a brutal crime that took place there years before. This sounds good. I've heard it's really good. I'm excited that we are finally getting to this so that I can add Dark Corners to my list. So this will be our 2nd book for this month. All right, now let's move on to roll 3. So 40 is Peers and Pet Peeves, which I believe is new to me authors, and it's in it's an orange one, which if I believe is like contemporary / like lit fic and all that different genre. So let's see what book I put there. Y'all, the plot be thickening because it is not an orange. I need to change that to green. Apparently I had one more orange sticky note than I had every other color, and so I adjusted it on my spreadsheet, did not adjust it on there. So I'm actually reading another thriller or horror from a new to me author, and I'm very excited, but I don't know where it is on my shelf, so I'm just gonna put a picture of it up, and it is Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach. And I'm actually a little scared of this because it's more extreme horror side of things, and I don't exactly know what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's a little girl that like sends a balloon to like find a pen pal, and then she finds a pen pal, but the pen pal is actually really creepy and scary, and it just gets worse and worse like each like chapter as it goes. And so I'm a little hesitant to add it to the TBR, but I'm excited to finally get to it, so hopefully I will read it very soon. All right, on to roll 4. The 35 is literature, which is a series, and this is finally a book that is in... This is finally a contemporary / lit fic book for real, because it is orange. So let me find which book we're reading. All right, we are going to start reading a book that I DNF'd about a year ago, but I only soft DNF'd it. It was just not right now. And that is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goff. I am very excited to read this. I have the first 2 books in the series. And this is about Mary Jekyll, and I believe she ends up finding out that her father's former friend Edward Hyde, a murderer, may be nearby, and there's a reward for info leading to his capture, but her hunt leads her not to him, but to Diana, his daughter, and with the assistance of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, they continue their search for the elusive Hyde, and then she ends up joining with, like, siblings of, or daughters and sons of other, like, monsters, like Frankenstein, Catherine Moreau, all those different type of people. And so it's very interesting. It is a cozy mystery, so I might not like this, but I'm really hoping I do, because Meg with books, this is like her favorite series of all time, and like I have had this on my shelves for a while, and I have really wanted to love this, so I'm really, 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 really hoping that this is a good time. All right, on to roll 5. So 47 is a pink one under Ancient History, which is authors I've read from before, and it is pink, like I said, so it is a romance. So let's see which book I'm going to read. Oh, I'm very excited that this made it onto the list. We are going to be continuing on with the Chestnut Springs series, and we are going to be reading Heartless by Elsie Silver, which I am so stoked about. This is book number 2, and I've heard everybody say that this is their favorite, so I'm excited to see if Daddy Cade is the person for me. So this is an age gap romance between Cade and Willa, and Willa is Summer's friend from the first book, from Flawless, and she becomes the nanny their new nanny for his son, and it is their romance. And so it's a nanny age gap romance. What more could I appreciate about this? I am just so excited. It is time. I have the audiobook. I am ready to go. This is going really well. This is why, like, this game is working, because these are all books that, like, I'm beyond excited about. All right, on to roll 6. Okay, we're on to Fears and Pet Peeves, which is authors that are new to me, and I got a yellow one this time, which means my choice. It could be any genre, any cross blend of genre. So we're going to look and see which one it is. So this book was on my current TBR cart, meaning I wanted to get to it soon, and now I get to, and that is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. I've been wanting to read this for a hot minute. I do know that it's the early 1960s. It's a STEM book. Her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute does not view equality the same, except for one person, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant Nobel Prize-nominated grudge holder who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. Then a few years later, she finds herself not only a single mother, but the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show. Her unusual approach to cooking proves revolutionary, but as her following grows, not everyone is happy, because as it turns out, she's not just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. This sounds intriguing. I'm very excited to see what happens, because I know that this was Barnes & Noble's Book of the Year last year, so it's gotta be good, right? All right, we're on to the lightning round. As this works, I get 30 seconds to answer 5 questions. If I get 3 of them right, then I don't have a punishment prompt, and if I get less than 3 right, then, you know, I get a prompt or a punishment. So let's set the clock to 30 seconds. Let's begin. Here we go. What kind of animal attacked Ross during the blackout? A cat. What did Ross fall into at Nana's funeral? A burial hole, like a grave plot. After Nana's funeral, what picture did Monica show the friends? I don't know. What TV theme song did Ross sing to Ben? Oh God, I don't know. Which friend likes mashed potatoes with lumps? Joey? No, Phoebe. Oh God, I might have gotten this wrong. Okay, let's see. An animal that attacked Ross was a cat. Why did Ross fall into a grave? 3. A picture of Nana with her friends at Java Joe's. Yeah, I didn't get that. What TV theme song did he sing? The Monkees. And which friend? Ross liked the lumps. I have to do a frickin' punishment prompt. I'll be back. So, we rolled green, which I looked underneath here, and that was add a roll. So, I'm going to be adding one more roll, and we're going to be adding one more book. Yay us. So, 26 is Fears and Pet Peeves, new to me authors. It is green, which is a thriller and horror, so we are getting a lot of those on the list this time, and let's see which book we will finally be reading. I can't find it right now. I know it's on that shelf somewhere, and it is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough, which we should have already read because I'm supposed to have been reading that. I'm supposed to have read that multiple times by now. I know it is a very good thriller of hers. I read her most recent one, Insomnia, and it was a 4-star. It was good, but I've heard this one like knocks everything out of the park. It has a crazy twist. It's a little crazy. You have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but I'm very excited for it. I know it has to do with a girl that I'm pretty sure like ends up having a relationship with her neighbor who she finds out is married and had an affair, and then something happens. Like, it's kind of like behind closed doors, like what happens when behind their closed doors, like what's going on there. I'm not really sure, but I'm very excited to get to it because, like I said, I know it is a beloved one by many, many people. And so without the 2 books that I cannot find currently, this is what our stack is looking like. And what's good is that a couple of these are blue, which is good because for the amazing readathon, which I don't really know what books I'm hoping to read for that. I know that she said a hint is to read books for your team color, and I am on team blue. So I am going to put about 3 or 4 books on here that I would love to get to that are primarily the cover is blue, and hopefully I will get to those during this readathon. For example, the one that needs to be read, no matter what this readathon, is Jade Legacy by Fonda Lees, so that I can actually finish this series. Am I scared to read this? Oh yes, I am. Can I tell you about it? No, because it will literally ruin the entire rest of the series. So if you've read this, you know. If you haven't read this, you don't know. But all I know is I hope that this will be a contender that I can read for the next month. Another one that I would love to read that is mainly blue is Broken Bonds by Jay Bree. This is the first book in the Twisted Bonds, or the Ties That Bond series. I don't actually know what this is about, so let's see what it's about on the back. After the death of my mother and her bonded, I was relieved to find my own bonds. I was sure everything would be okay if I had them. It wasn't. The fate of our people is in my hands, and I know we're better off if I'm alone. After 5 years on the run, I'm caught and dragged back to face the men I ran away from. I thought I was doing the right thing. Now I'm not so sure. North, Knox, Griffin, Atlas, and Gabe may never forgive me, but one thing is for sure, I won't ever forgive myself. Honestly, that description sounded as vague as Flock from the Ravenhood trilogy. Do I still know what this is about? No. But hopefully I get to it next month. I would also love to finally read a Mariana Zapata book and hopefully get 2 from Lukov with Love, which I know is a hockey romance. And so this one says, if someone was to ask Jasmine Santos to describe the last few years of her life with a single word, it would be a 4-letter one. After 17 years and countless broken bones and broken promises, she knows her window to compete in figure skating is coming to a close. But when the offer of a lifetime comes in from an arrogant idiot she spent the last decade dreaming about pushing in the way of a moving bus, Jasmine might have to reconsider everything, including Ivan Lukov. So, this sounds really fun. It is a little big for a contemporary romance, but you know what? We will add it anyway. I also wouldn't mind adding Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score to this. It's like at the bottom of a stack, so I'm not going to grab it right now. I heard it is a romantic suspense novel. I don't know much else about it, so that's really all I'm going to say on that one. This would also be the perfect month to finally do my comparison blog between The Last Mrs. Parrish and The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, because The Last Mrs. Parrish is by Liv Constantine, and this came out a while ago. I think in like 2017 or something. And The Housemaid came out, I think, a year ago or so. And basically, everybody is saying that Miss Frida completely copied The Last Miss Parrish in The Housewife and The Housemaid. And The Housemaid is a way bigger, more popular book than this. So, and this is Haley Hughes' favorite domestic thriller. So I want to read this, and then read The Housemaid, and then compare them side by side and see if Miss Frida really did steal from Miss Constantine. And so that would actually be the perfect month to do this in, because they are both blue cover books. I don't know how much better it can get than that. But I have always wanted to read this. I've read another book by Liv Constantine and really, really enjoyed it, and I've heard this one is her best one, so I definitely need to get to it soon. This would also be the perfect time to get to the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, because I haven't read this yet and I feel a little ashamed that I haven't. It's obviously about Achilles. And that's all I really need to know. I know it is a gay love story and it's Greek mythology. So I feel like this needs to be pretty prioritized. And those are the only blue books that I'm going to put on this recommendation sheet because I have a lot of other blue books, but like those are ones that like I really do want to get to, so hopefully I get to like one of those. I almost added Crescent City too, but let's face it, I'm not going to read that and Jade Legacy. They're both like 800-page books, and I'm going to prioritize Jade Legacy first. That's fine with me. Plus I just got spoiled for Crescent City 2, which really sucks. But that's what I'm going to read for full or for Amazing Readathon. And then for the Full Moon Readathon, there are a couple of different prompts and things that we could read for that. Like there's a hardback book, any one of those hardback books that I already said I've read I could do for that. A book between 206 to 300 pages. I'm pretty sure Pen Pal is that because it's a novella, so I'm good on that regard. A nostalgic spooky book I don't really have, but I could find that for sure. A book somebody else picked. I mean, I could just ask a friend to do that for me, so I will do that later. A book with blood in the title or cover, I do not have yet. I also don't have a fave supernatural creature yet. Although if I was to read The Ashes of the Star-Cursed King, that has vampires in it, and I've been wanting to read that, so maybe I will add that. And then I also need a book where fire is involved, and I don't think I have that yet, unless I read Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, which has dragons in it, and I did want to read that next month, so probably. And then a morally gray character. I'm sure there's got to be a morally gray character in one of these books. So I'm not going to really say what books I'm reading for all of that, but that is the prompts for the Full Moon Readathon, which is hosted by Jan. I will link to that underneath here as well. And then as far as book clubs that I am in, as for what I'm reading, I don't know what I'm reading for Haley Hughes because we always pick that at the end of the month. I don't know what I'm reading for Riley Marie's book club. I don't think she has announced it yet, or if she has, actually no, she did. It was Ink Blood Sister Scribe, and I have heard good things about that, but I'm not going to commit to that right now because I'm not actually interested in reading that book at the moment. I actually can't find what Gabby's book troop one is for August, so I don't know what I'm reading for that. I do know for this new romantasy group that I joined on Fable, which is hosted by Tori from Tori Between Pages, we are reading Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, and I've been beyond excited to read this. I've heard it's a better Fourth Wing with dragons. Like literally the first chapter or the first thing says, Princess Prisoner Runaway Queen. Elowyn Adara, Princess of Imarath, came into the world like a firestorm made flesh. A princess with a link to 5 dragons should have been a blessing to her kingdom, but her blessing became her curse. The little girl in shackles became a knife-wielding woman with a thirst for retaliation. That sounds so good. This is honestly the most anticipated book that I have for August. I'm very, very excited to be in a romantasy book club because, let's face it, I'm obsessed. And then Books and Lala is reading A Twisted Love Story by Samantha Downing for August, and I will be reading that because I've read 2 Samantha Downing books and absolutely loved both of them. I think I 5-starred both of them, so I will be reading that. I don't know too much about it, what it's about, but I'm very excited to be getting to that. And then I can't remember what Jan Agaton is reading for her book club because I am in her Patreon as well. I'm in a couple of people's Patreons, and I'm not participating in all of their book clubs. So any that I said I am. And then, other than that, I'm not going to add any other books to my TBR stack because I'm really trying to focus on the readathons, and if I can read other books, great, but I'm not going to add other books onto this stack. And so that is what I'm going to be reading in July. Let me know which of those books you are most excited to see me read, which of those you loved, which of those you hated. Let me know a book that is on your TBR for July, and with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!